The 9 post is the thing that kind of makes someone stop for a second, because if they click on the account and it's 0 post or it's only 3, the first thing that they want to do is scroll. But if they see 9 already, it's already filling up the whole screen, so they don't want to scroll. Now, we live in a world now that we just want like instant things. Like if I get on somebody's account, I want to know within like the first 5 seconds
what they do.
About. Exactly, what they do, what are they about, is it for me, and what's in it for me right there.
You're listening to the Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.
During the trainings, when you come in person, you usually explain something very interesting to my students, which I will love you if you will share this here too.
I hope you love me.
I love you. If you share this here too, because I have a lot of students, a lot of people, a lot of actual people that they want to become lash artists, and I feel like it will be very, very helpful for them as well. So you mentioned something about the 9 posts on Instagram, or 6 posts. How many?
It's actually 9.
9. Can you share that?
Yeah, so the whole point with having 9 posts is the fact that when you are going on somebody's Instagram profile, without having to scroll down, the first thing that you'll see is somebody's profile photo, you'll see their bio, and typically, unless you are on the Reels section, because Reels are much taller because they're vertical, but the 9 square posts are the first thing that people will see when they land on your account. So that's why I'm kind of pushing the narrative. Yeah, pushing the narrative of having 9 posts. And what's even more important is what to have in the 9 posts, right? And then, of course, from there, we can go even deeper into pin post and other things like that. But the 9 post is the first thing that someone will see when they land on your account, right? So, of course, number 1 is making sure that your profile photo is optimized. Ideally, and I tell this to your students as well, make sure instead of having just a logo or the name of your business, the salon or whatever, have a picture with their face, because people connect with other people. They don't just connect with logos and brands and things like that. It's so much easier to connect with another person if you see their face, right? That is the name. Now, some people decide, hey, I want to have the company name in the bio. That's totally fine. Instead of having the personal name, like in your case, right? Like your lash artist, your lash trainer account has your personal name attached to it. Now, the username is Lash Trainer Pro, but the name of the Lash Trainer account has your personal name. Why? Because that's attached to your personality. It's attached to what you do. The salon itself, it's Limit Lashes is the name of the brand, right? Now, I don't want to complicate things too much, and I don't want people to create from the beginning, 3 different accounts. And we've had this conversation with someone that already had a personal account on Instagram, and she said, what do I do? Do I just change that into my business account? And I said, well, at first, depending what's the end goal, and it's hard to know from the beginning if this is going to become a lifetime type of business, or if it's just something that they treat it as a side hustle, right? The easiest way at first is to start a brand new account, to treat it specifically for business, even if it's a lash artist at first, right? So even if they decide it's a lash artist account, even if they decide, hey, I want to become a lash trainer in the future, my advice would be have the username to contain the word lash or lashes or eyelashes or things like that. And then in the name of the account should have their personal name. Why? For the same reason. People connect with other people. They don't connect necessarily with businesses. It's such an easy type of connection when you see somebody's face and you see their name. Like, it's instant connection. You're like, oh, this person is the lash artist, right?
Yeah.
So it's very different. Now, the reason that I made that comment is, before we talking about the post themselves, it's important to have their bio optimized. What is the IG bio? It's pretty much a mini sales page. A lot of people don't pay attention to it, but again, The first thing that people see, it's the profile photo, and then the second thing is the bio. So in order for someone even wanting to watch what you post, they see your face and now they read about you. And if you lose them with exactly what you said in the bio, if you lose them, they're not even going to read the 9 posts, right?
Right.
But the 9 post is the thing that kind of makes someone stop for a second, because if they click on the account and it's 0 posts or it's only 3, the first thing that they'll want to do is scroll. But if they see 9 already, it's already filling up the whole screen, so they don't want to scroll. Now, we live in a world now that we just want like instant things. Like if I get on somebody's account, I want to know within like the first 5 seconds
what they do.
About. Exactly. What they do, what are they about? Is it for me? And what's in it for me right there? And then if not, I'm bouncing and going to the next person, right?
Now, let me interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
It is, what do you think? Because I know we were talking about this on my business account. Do you have to post like those professional pictures, like something to actually attract you, to bring your attention, or what do you think? Is this something that matters in those days or not? Because, I took some Instagram courses and some people say it doesn't matter right now. It's all about what you're posting, the content and things that you put on the table for people. What do you think?
So it's a great question. The answer to that is, it's not necessarily if it matters or not. The most important thing nowadays, and you know this, it's consistency. So can you be consistent with those professional photos? Because what's the point of having, let's say, a professional, right? People come to your trainings and you take, 10, 20, 30 professional photos. It's great to use those to get the account going, right? And then what happens is, especially with Instagram, it's a platform. It's not like YouTube. Like people will not go and see what you posted a year ago. It's never going to happen. Right. So again, we have to also think about what's the level of the person's Instagram account at this moment in time when the question is asked. Is it important? What can you be consistent with that level of professionalism of photos? Because if you only have 6 or 10 of them, or maybe you you can do this in like batch. I'm a big fan, especially with reels and podcasts and videos, batch produce. What does that mean? Create at least 10, 20, 30. Like if you are paying a professional photographer to take professional photos of you, you better get at least 30, 40, 50 photos so you can have it for the next couple.
I was just about to say,
for the next couple weeks, right? Because again, you have to post not just photos. At the end of the day, Instagram, it's 2023, it's not a photo app anymore. Right. It used to be in 2013, 14. 20. Yeah. Oh no, forget about it. It's been a video app like for the last 2 years. So a trick that you can use is, let's say you only have 30 professional photos. Use some of them in combination with text for Reels covers.
Right.
So you have to kind of play with them. There's no necessarily right or wrong answer to this, because again, you post some Reels, and then if you don't have a professional cover, you just gotta not post it to the main account, to the feed. You only gotta leave it in the Reels, right? At the end of the day, I've seen accounts with super professional photos on the feed, no Reels in the feed, but then if you click the button, you have the sections like the feed.
And you click the Reel.
Yeah, you click the Reel section, and now they have a totally different content strategy just in the Reels.
Yeah. So it's different, the Reel, when you press the Reel and when you press the feed. Could be different.
So when you right? That's a good question. When you post the Reel, Instagram asks you, and actually depending on what's the account settings, it actually asks you want to share this Reel to your main feed.
Oh yes, you're right.
Because again, Reels are those vertical sections. It's still 3 on 3 in each section, but it's vertical. It's so much bigger. The actual feed, it's square. Each post is square. Yeah. That's why you can fit. So if I'm looking at somebody's account on the regular feed, I can see 9 posts. But if I click on the Reel, and some people don't even notice this, click on the Reel, I can only see 3 because the length of the Reel cover is so much bigger. Now, going back to 9 posts, that's the reason why you want 9 posts. Because if somebody decides to not want to scroll, you want to make sure you have enough content in those 9 posts. Now again, we should not overthink this because I know some students of yours are really at the beginning. They've never used Instagram for business before. They were just posting random photos of themselves in a lifestyle personal account, which is not bad, but it's random. In this case, from a business standpoint, consistency it's better. So to answer back to your question, does it matter if it's professional? Well, can you be consistent with that professionalism? Because
and
if
do
you
them
cannot,
all the time.
yeah, because if not, imagine how not weird, but it won't look.
The feed is going to look different.
The feed will look random. It will be very, like kind of pushed in all different. So, like if you have 3 professional photos, but then now you have 3 reels with no cover on the reel.
Right.
It doesn't look professional,
Yeah,
right? Aesthetics. And you guys being in the beauty industry, you have to pay a little bit. I'm not saying that it's not one of those things like, oh, if you don't do this or if you do this, you won't get customers anymore.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, but you want to make it look for you to also like I remember when we were looking at your account.
How many times I changed my feed? Like first I wanted to look more like in the dark side because everything that I do in the salon is dark.
Yeah.
So all the products are dark and gold. So I said, I want to try to do something to kind of match all my logo in my business. And then I switch again and then back again, remember? But now I'm finally where I really love my feed.
You had the text that now you use the same color on the cover, on the reels covers. And what's nice actually, if you post reels or if you have your account mainly made out of reels, you can always change the covers.
The cover, yes.
If it's a photo, well, you're not going to be able to change the photo. You're going to have to delete it from the feed because there's no photo feed. The photo posts are within the feed. So it's part of it. You're not going to be able to, right?
And that's actually something that I just recently did, like a couple of weeks, a month, 2 months ago. Remember?
With the reels?
With my reels. I said, I want to change everything, all the covers. And then I took those professional pictures and then I have exactly the same color to match all the profile. And then I changed probably like 50 pictures, remember?
Yeah, in case people are wondering what apps do you
I was
use?
just about to say, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when I first showed you, because you were asking for my account. And again, my being in the marketing / business, feed, in my opinion, it's not as important as it is in yours.
For me, it is the
Right.
most important,
But the apps that I was using were InShot. Mainly because you can create a template, save it as a draft,
and you just replace the picture.
Yeah, and then what I don't like about InShot is you cannot upload custom fonts. So we have the bold font for your text.
To write the text.
Yeah, they have their own fonts. You can purchase their own fonts, but you cannot upload the font that you like. So that one we use, what is it called?
Font something.
And I'm so bad at remembering
bold
the names.
Font something.
No, the font itself, it's called the bold font, which is mainly used in the captions. But we'll make sure to list the name of the app that we use for the text, because you use the app to write the text, the text that goes on the cover. You download it as a PNG, and then you go back on the InShot and upload them. Yeah, it sounds hard and a lot of work, but trust me, because I'm doing this every day. Once you start doing it becomes something normal and it's easy to work with. Remember, that was exactly the same Canva for me. Oh, yeah,
I thought
Canva
it was
hard to use on your phone.
On the phone, correct?
Canva,
yes.
It's like I'm all day, every day in Canva, doing everything.
But it's easier on the laptop, right?
Yeah, I mean the app itself in Canva, I feel like it's not made for. It's an actual mobile app. It's not just the browser, but it's not as easy as InShots. Like for this, now, of course, the functionality of Canva cannot be compared with InShot because it's a story. But
then we can use InShot.
Yeah, for this specific thing, and even for videos, actually, for a lot of your videos, I showed you a couple times.
Yeah, how to cut them and how to.
Yeah, you can split them. You can do all kinds of like minor corrections to it. You can extract sound. You can add sound if you want to. You
can put music on top. No, it sounds hard once you start doing it, but then I'm telling you, it's very easy. I do this every day now.
Yeah, I remember at first you were like, oh, but this takes so much time. And I'm like, just give it a few hours.
Yeah, and I tried to cut a video, remember? And I said, no, that's not for me. But now I'm just gonna boom, 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 very easy.
Just a couple hours for you to figure it out. And it's like everything at first, right? Like you start doing it and you're like, but this is not as easy as the other app or whatever. But no, I love the app because it can help you design the
everything to match. That's the thing. Because remember before I used to write like different type of fonts, different type of text, and they didn't match. They weren't the same. And I said I want to have something. And then my husband came. Oh, let me give you an app that you can write the fonts the same.
You have every cover of your reel with a different font and a different color code because you are not using until we set up the actual color code in your in the app. You were just using random fonts. They were just going. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like your photo, and actually you took the professional photos because we did the professional photo shoot. But then you started uploading to Instagram and you were just using at first you did Canva.
Yeah.
Then you did after Canva, then you were just uploading directly on Instagram, which is even worse because they have like no fonts in there. And then when I showed you, like, you can actually do this, and make it nice every time.
And now I do it every day.
Yeah, and then what's nice again about the reels, you can go back and change the covers.
If you want,
It's so much easier. But it's not, in my opinion, at first, I would say it would be a good habit to develop because if you start with that and then you get comfortable with it, it only helps you long term because now you have a new skill set. Like you literally know how to do this and it's just going to save you more time.
Oh, yes.
And the reason that I believe this is important for people to practice, your students and even other people in different industries, at some point, you're going to want to outsource it to somebody else. But how can you teach somebody? How can you tell someone to do something and you not knowing how to do that?
Right.
Then you are at the mercy of the person figuring out. And then if you don't like the result, it's still your fault because you cannot give somebody an end result task. Now, I mean, of course you can. You can just show somebody a screenshot of another competitor's photo, whatever, and you say, hey, I want my picture to look like this. But then it's so much easier if you actually know the process. Now you can even train somebody or just hire a virtual assistant from platforms like Fiverr and Upwork to do it for you, right? When it becomes, all right, now I don't have time, right? Like in your case, for example, you might think, well, now you actually enjoy doing it.
I can it takes me like a minute, not even.
But in your case, if you would want to outsource it, you could. Because now you think, oh, well, doing that is just not necessarily a task that will instantly bring me ROI, like a return on investment. Like, hey, do I spend 10 minutes updating 10 reels covers? That's not going to make me any dollars, right? You're not going to make money because of that. But your feed looking good is you being satisfied with your account. So
right.
It's like the byproduct of it.
And that's, I don't know, for me, when I go on someone's account profile and I see those beautiful feeds that they match in the color, for me, really bring attention. Like I really love and I want to see more, if I see like pink, red, blue, like all those type of colors, I'm like, I'm out. It's not for me. It doesn't look professional.
It's interesting because you say that. For example, in my case, when I look at my biggest competitors and the biggest influencers in the marketing business space, I look at their accounts and they're all over the place. Nobody has an exact, like you look at Gary Vee, you look at Grant Cardone, you look at...
That means it's the industry.
Yeah,
right?
So of course, again, like I just mentioned, you're in the beauty industry. Aesthetic kind of plays a little bit of a role. And maybe another thing might be like women look at things different than men do.
I'm perfectionist. You know that in everything. So everything has to be perfect, match, color, everything.
And then now I say that my industry doesn't necessarily have it, but when I change my branding to the red color, now my feed actually it's reddish, so it's
and it's actually you made me started to do my profile, my feed like that because I saw yours, black and red, and then I said, oh, mine will go perfect with gold and black, and then I said I want to do my feed exactly like yours, and then you show me the apps and InShot and everything.
Yeah, it's again one of those things that people will have to decide for themselves, but strictly related to business and then kind of back to those 9 posts, it's very important to actually not overthink it and just get it done. Going back to the question, like, does it have to be super professional? I don't think so. I don't think it has to be.
Consistency.
Can you get customers without having super? But at the same time, we have to remember, literally, iPhones have 4K camera. We're recording on one of the iPhones now from a video podcast, and literally records the same quality that the $3,000 camera.
Right.
So you don't necessarily need a professional photographer. Now, of course, you need some angles to learn. In my opinion, your time would better be spent watching a couple of YouTube videos on angles and lighting, and then how to focus, because then you can install an app, I think it's called ProTake. It's an app you install in an iPhone.
Yeah.
And then you can actually do all kinds of different things, and you don't need a photographer to get it done. You just need somebody. Again, if you know how to do it, you show it to somebody else, and then somebody can help you get it done. So, short answer, you don't need to have all your photos being taken professionally. Now, if that's something that you just want to scratch an itch, all right, get it done.
Or you can always change them, like I said. You can change
for
the
Reels
cover
covers,
for the Reels, yeah.
For the photos, you'll have to either remove it from the feed and then repost one with the same post, whatever. But the most important thing is do not overthink it. Make sure those 9 posts are actually posted. This can be a combination of, let's say, 3 Reels, 3 photos, 3 carousels. Carousels can be used for before and after, like how the client's eye looked before, how it looks after. Actual photos can be photos of, at first, if you have nothing, it can be photo of you working on a mannequin.
Or a product, or
or
piece
the
of
products that you use, or
tweezer
even
or something.
Screenshot of a review, of a 5-star review from Google or Yelp. Again, don't overthink it. And then the Reels should be videos of you working either on a client or you working on a mannequin. Actually, you know what? Now I just had an idea. Maybe you should implement, because I know you give your students a bunch of professional photos at the end of the training. Maybe you guys should do some Reels too, and then send it to them when they leave.
Oh yes.
A couple of videos. They did. You probably do get it. It's just maybe you don't mention it to them, but that would be probably something cool.
Yeah, you can do that. You can help me on the 3rd day, on the last day.
Yeah, or maybe just get it done yourself.
Thank you.
But did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much. That was very, very helpful.
Super. Well, I'm happy to jump in as often as I can.
Thank you.
If you got a passion for lashes, let me see it. It's time to level up. If you need me to, I'll teach you my 6-figure secret. Better believe it, 'cause I believe in you. You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.